Good morning, everyone. Uh, I'm presenting on a retrospective study on ethambutol-induced optic neuropathy. Ethambutol is a part of treatment protocol for tuberculosis since the 1960s. It causes a well-defined dose-related toxicity. Ethambutol chelates zinc, which is an important factor in nerve function, optic nerve function in particular. Visual loss is profound and sometimes permanent. So early diagnosis and timely replacement with alternate drug is important. So visual loss can be central or peripheral field loss with or without dyschromatopsia. At a dose of under 15 milligram per kg per day, optic neuropathy is unlikely to develop, but at doses of 15 to 25 milligram per kg, visual symptoms may develop over a period of months. Some visual improvement may occur with discontinuation of the drug, though some visual field and contrast sensitivity abnormalities may persist. According to RNTCP, in old regimen, patients are receiving ethambutol for 2 months, that to 3 days a week. According to new guidelines, they are receiving daily ethambutol for a period of 6 months. The new guidelines are introduced in September 2017 and started following since 2018. Aim of our study was to evaluate visual decline in patients with ethambutol optic neuropathy and visual recovery after cessation of ethambutol, and to correlate changes in amplitude and latency of pattern VEP with visual loss and recovery. So we did a retrospective observational study of 30 consecutive patients presenting with ethambutol optic neuropathy at Aravind Eye Hospital, Coimbatore between July 19 and October 19. We included patients above 18 years of age and on ATT, including ethambutol at a dose of 15 to 25 milligram per kg. And we excluded patients of any known pathology of optic nerve. Visual acuity, color vision, contrast sensitivity, central fields by Jerome screen, anterior segment and fundus examination were done in all visits. VEP was recorded at the time of presentation. Once ethambutol optic neuropathy was diagnosed, after discussing with the treating physician, ethambutol was stopped and replaced with levofloxacin. In results, we had 18 men and 12 women with a mean age of 54 years. And the average interval from onset of vision loss to stopping ethambutol was 4.4 weeks. Mean visual acuity of all patients at presentation was 6 by 24, and they had a vision of 612 at 3 months follow-up. Uh, Duration of visual decline to stopping of ethambutol and its impact on visual recovery. Patients who stopped ethambutol 4 or more weeks after visual decline presented with a vision of 636 and they improved to 615 at 3 months follow-up. And those who stopped ethambutol less than 4 weeks presented with a vision of 618 and improved to 69 in follow-up. The presenting vision of patients who stopped more than 4 weeks was statistically significantly worse than patients who stopped before 4 weeks. At follow-up, although the visual acuity was still worse in more than 4 week group compared to less than 4 week group, this did not reach statistical significance. VEP amplitude was 1.4 microvolt for patients who stopped ethambutol more than 4 weeks after visual decline, while it was 2.4 microvolt in patients who stopped less than 4 weeks after visual decline, which was statistically significant, and it was also consistent with the visual acuity differences between these two groups. The latencies were normal and without statistically significant difference between these two groups. Normal VEP in this population is 5 microvolt. So in all cases, it was reduced compared to normal. It was also observed that patients who presented with normal or hyperemic optic disc had good visual recovery than those who presented with temporal pallor or pale disc, correlating with less than 4 weeks and more than 4 weeks group. Toxicity from ethambutol is dose related, and current regimen recommend a dose of 15 to 25 milligram per kg per day. Patients who took longer to stop ethambutol presented with worse vision than patients who stopped it sooner. These findings support prompt cessation of ethambutol after presumed optic neuropathy to prevent visual decline. These findings are consistent with other reports of visual decline in ethambutol toxicity. Kumar et al. Found poor presenting vision of between 20 to 20 by 120 and counting fingers with a mean interval between onset of therapy and toxic effects of 3.4 months. An important finding of our study was that the worse the vision was at presentation, the worse was the final outcome. All patients had reduced VEP amplitudes in our study. Unfortunately, we do not have VEP results after visual improvement to demonstrate changes after cessation of ethambutol. There were no significant changes in latency from the normal population in any group which is consistent with a non-demyelinating optic neuropathy. To conclude, the interval from vision loss to stopping ethambutol is an important marker for visual recovery. VEP amplitudes were consistently reduced in our series of patients, but there was no change in latency. Limitations of our study include small sample size, retrospective nature, and lack of VEP results after visual improvement. Future studies could include correlation with OCT and visual field analysis. There is a recent increase in ethambutol optic neuropathy after change in regimen. So regular ophthalmic evaluation for patients on ATT is mandatory, and treating physicians should be sensitized about ethambutol optic neuropathy and need for eye examinations. Awareness should be created among patients to watch for blurred vision while on ATT. These were my references. Thank you.
Doctor, hello?
Sir, yes,
How many cases presented with papillitis and how many cases presented with retrobulbar neuritis?
Sir, all 30 patients, sir, we didn't note any disc edema, sir. All of them are presenting with either normal disc or with a temporal pallor and pale disc, sir.
So with the APD only you diagnosed as optic neuritis.
Sir, sorry, sir.
Afferent pupillary defect only you diagnosed as retrobulbar neuritis and visual acuity only.
Visual acuity, sir.
And any APD? Afferent pupillary defect?
Yes, sir. Sir, but usually the patients, the optic neuropathy was symmetrical, sir, but we couldn't, we didn't get any RAPD kind of pictures, sir. It was like sluggish pupil in both the eyes.
Okay.
Karthik,
yes, sir.
That, why you have not seen color vision in those cases?
Sir, sorry, sir.
Color vision testing.
Yes, sir. Color vision was defective, sir.
Okay, that's a basic tool for a
diagnosing.
What tool did you use to check color vision?
Ma'am, Ishihara chart, ma'am.
But what was the range of visual acuity in your patient? You use Ishihara for everybody, whatever is the level of their visual acuity?
No, ma'am. Patients with very poor vision, they were not able to read it, ma'am.
Ishihara is not truly the ideal test. At what level of visual acuity, up to what level can you use Ishihara pseudo-isochromatic?
Ma'am, probably 636, ma'am.
Yeah, no, 618. Usually 618. Up to 618. That is what is recommended. If you actually read the Ishihara instructions, 618.
Okay, ma'am.
So you may need to use other modes of methods. And ideally for a study, you should use other methods, ideally.
Okay, ma'am.
There are limitations.
Okay, ma'am.
It's an important study. Yeah, it's an important study.
Thank you, ma'am.
You did the VEP
sir, sorry, sir.
You did the VEP after improvement of vision or after suggestion of ethambutol?
Sir, during the first visit, sir, when they presented with ethambutol optic neuropathy, during the first visit, we did VEP, sir.
But in your conclusion, you have written that the VEP was consistently reduced in amplitude.
Sir, that was consistently in all patients, sir. We didn't have follow-up VEP, sir. When vision was improved, we didn't do VEP. Future studies we have to do, sir.
I have 3 questions, doctor.
Yes, sir.
First is, why you use Jerome screen?
Since most of the patients had poor vision, sir, we did Jerome screen, sir, and also like in our regular OPD, we do central fields with Jerome screen, and then the follow-up visits we do HFA, sir. If the vision is good, when they can do it.
Okay. Next question is, your mean age of your study population was around 54.
Yes, sir.
Was there any ocular comorbidity? Because they are presumably all are tuberculosis patients.
Yes, sir.
Cataract was there, or any other ocular comorbidity was there or not? You have not mentioned.
Sir, those patients we excluded, sir. Yes, sir. Other causes of visual deficiency we excluded, sir.
How many of the TB patients? What
yes, sir.
Of TB patients receive ethambutol in India? Any idea? 100%. All tuberculosis patient first line.
Yes, sir. All patients are receiving ethambutol, sir, according to new guidelines.